Victor Brooks of the Victor Brooks Show Facebook Live Quarantine Series. What's happening, y'all? And welcome. You know, every Sunday at 1:00 p.m. Pacific Coast time, all we try to do is just bring a little positivity, y'all. If it turns out to be a lot of positivity, then it's working double time. And that keeps the smile going, you know what I mean? But I thank you all so much every time you take the time to come on here and just share these stories and these journeys with us, you know, as we just all try to come together and support each other, help each other out, you know. And I got to remember, Wendy, I'm going to remember my watch party here. I'm clicking on right now. And I thank you for reminding me that every time. Right, here we go. Share, start, boom. Yes, it is. So how's everybody doing today? I'm hoping that, and like I like to say, that we're feeling too blessed to be stressed, you know? Whenever we do, as I always say, ever since we started, when we do the show, we're not trying to negate the seriousness of what we all know is happening out here in the world, you know? It's heavy out here, y'all. With the world, we're going through changes that, some changes that we never thought we would, then other changes that we thought, you know, that we've been dealing with for a while. And you know, what I say is the two viruses that our world is dealing with, the virus of the corona, you know, that put our life on pause, that made us sit back and take our time to you know, maybe self-reflect, get into some other things that maybe we had been putting on hold, you know, but that virus of corona is real. And then that second virus of racism, y'all, that's generational, you know, it's been here, especially in the US of A. And when you have those two viruses that are on our heads every day, there's no doubt that it's heavy out here. But this format is just a remembrance or a reminder that there's always something we can smile about. There's always something that we can count our blessings about. You dig? Like I always say, y'all, every time I wake up in the morning and my eyes pop open, hey, I feel blessed. And I say, thank you. You know, every time I put my foot down on that floor and I'm walking to where I need to go, that's another blessing, y'all. Blessing seen and unseen is what our brother Clifton Davis likes to say. You know, he's like, Vic, we got to be thankful for the blessings seen and unseen. And that's the real. I always want to thank our frontline workers, our EMTs, our doctors, our nurses, our hospital people. I want to thank our sanitation workers. You know, I want to thank our truck drivers. I want to thank everybody that's trying to keep the status as normal as we can keep it. You know, it's not easy. You know, but we're all working together and we're all coming together. I want to thank the teachers. You know, school's about to start again. And those babies are the main ones that I'm reaching out to. You know, this has to be a mind blow for them and their young lives, their young world. But we're going to be all right, y'all. We're going to be all right. You know, I always check during the week our inboxes that are growing and growing and growing of our Positivity Posse members, you know. And we see you lining up. Robin Logan, what's going on, fam? Eve Hanil, what's out of Germany? You know, we're having them line up today. Of course, because of the guest that we have today, the mighty, mighty Whispers, y'all. And I'm on top of the world with that. I'm on top of the world. And when we get into this conversation of their journey and be able to hear them face to face, you dig? Well, as face to face as we can get, but hearing directly from these gentlemen of music and artistry, we're going to get into depth more of why we have loved them for 50 plus years. You dig? And that excites me, y'all. And I'm so proud to be able to bring him here to you all today, our Positivity Posse. Dawn Downing, what's going on? Yes, legends. We have, we want to thank our Sao Paulo University that's joined in with about 85 members of the Black Brazilian movement there out of Sao Paulo. Muito obrigado, meus irmãos, minhas irmãs, por seu tempo hoje. Muito obrigado. Eu tenho muito respeito para o Brasil, para o nosso povo. Muito obrigado por su tiempo. I was just telling them thank you so much for joining us today. I know they're even going through an interpreter today to hear this journey story, and that's special, y'all. You know what? I want to bring on my partner here, Lady Wendy Vaughn, because Wendy, they've been screaming how much they love when you join in and give us your positive drop downs, girl. What's going on, Wendy?
Hey, Uncle Vic. Oh boy, thank you so much. Today is just a beautiful day. I am so
Yes.
excited to be rocking steady with our boys in a few.
Come
I was
on.
I
That's
was
right.
telling you that mom is watching and my sister.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
were just with them last year, and it's so crazy to see where things are today. Just happy that we're all here, alive and well,
Come on.
thriving.
That's right. You know what? Because I'm glad you brought that up. You and your sisters have begun, or it's already been in the making, of the new or emotions. You know, you and Sis Wanda and YN. What's that experience been like, girl? I know it's been fantastic, huh?
Oh, for real. Looking at the level of musicality that my mom and my aunts possess, that we know osmosisly have been around since
That's right.
forever.
That's right.
And being able to be on stage with her and YN and traveling, it's been the bomb. I've had such a great time, honestly, and learning so much. And I just go, they did this for how many years?
You know,
Whoa.
that respect level just went a whole nother, as if it could even get any more. But
I mean, I already respect my mom and my aunties, but I
exactly.
mean, you're giving as much as you love it. I mean, we already know as uncle, because we just did the interviews, when you're giving your artistry and that creativity, that's a personal, it's intimate, and that's a lot of energy all those years to give out. So my hat is just off to
Right
my
on.
mom and on them.
You know what? I'm gonna take our congratulation hat off as well. Additionally, to Sister Wanda and Brother Wayne Vaughn, for today is the anniversary, right?
Today, yes.
Come on now. Positivity Posse, give it up. Congratulations for 40 plus years of love and happiness to
Yeah.
Wanda and Wayne. Much respect and much love, y'all.
And I
So
want
what's
to give
happening?
one little shout out. You know what? One of the things that I was saying, with all of this beauty and the artistry comes of some people who really support. And there's a brother by the name of Pete Keys up in Northern California who got a
Okay.
platinum album created with mom and them on there for their anniversary, mom and dad's anniversary. That was so special. So mom and them say thank you. See, that's that love. That's that
What's the
positivity.
brother's name again?
Pete Keys. And he watches your show. He's a big
Pete Keys.
supporter.
You know what, Pete Keys, thank you, man. See, that's the kind of positivity I'm talking about, y'all. It's out here, we just reach out and throw it on each other. You know, like we always say, Wendy, let's take a bath in it, take a shower in it. Come get some of this positivity on you when you get up.
Yes.
Bring it on somebody else, because that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. So who's lining up on yours right now?
Oh my gosh. We have Daisy Hill, Ernest, Sheriff, Helena Bittencourt, Rita Bunny. Boy, we got all the crew. Court, everybody. I asked them, I said, what are you focused on today? What is your positivity today, y'all?
Yes.
We got
and you know what? I have to give special thanks also to Brother Ron Richardson. Ron, thank you so much, man. I was introduced to Ron through Cliff and Melba Moore, and when Melba came on, Ron and I had a fantastic and just that connection of real, you can feel that,
Yep.
But thank you, Ron Richardson. Thank you, Marquise Gaines.
Yes,
I didn't know you all, that's like y'all's fam anyway. We just met through the beauty of the Whispers here, and our sister Carolyn Griffey. Carolyn, I love you, baby sis. I love you. That's and I mean, it just goes on and on, y'all. Michelle Palmer, thank you for joining. Here's the Brazilian camp. Thank you all. They're on right now and listening. 17 at 7 is back with us. The French Jazz Society of Saint-Denis, France is saying, we love the Whispers. Right on, y'all. Join the club.
Absolutely. so awesome. Their show is amazing. And I was reading some more about them. I can't wait to hear more about their journey right now. Just be blessed. Oh my goodness.
Well, Wendy, thank you, baby. We love you. And
Love
we thank you for being here and sharing your positivity and sunshine every episode. Thank you,
Thank
girl.
you. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one. I'll be in the background.
And I have to give it up for my love and respect for our other co-producers, Christopher Brooks, my brother, Julie McKnight, my sister, and of course, Wendy Vaughn. And, you know, like I said, it's just our honor to bring this to you every Sunday at 1:00 p.m. You know, I've gotten a couple of emails this week as well from some of our past guests, and I just want to give it up to our past guests who took their time, just some of them who took their time to tell their journey, and I know some are watching, a lot of them are watching today as well. I want to thank Larry Dotson of the Barcades. I want to thank Sister Frida Payne. Thank you, Frida. Thank you that came on here and blew our minds that day with yours. Salima Nimoy, thank you for your artistry through literature. Wyann Vaughn, baby girl Wyann, thank you. For Brother Bill Duke, thank you for coming and telling your story. Of course, Cliff Davis, all of these people, Mark Kibble, Melba Moore, everyone who's been here that's taken their time. Words can't express. Thank you for your time. And today, we have some others that's taken their time to come on and tell their journey, to just kind of talk to us and share their positivity with us and to the world. And I'm talking about none other than the Mighty Whispers, y'all. You know how we do it. I got something to read to you. Ooh, the Whispers. In the annals of R&B history, the Whispers have earned a solid and memorable position as one of the world's longest running vocal groups. Celebrating over 50 years in the industry, they are the cream of soul, embellishing smooth ballads and upbeat dance favorites as one of the premier R&B groups to ever grace the stage. Their musical success can be attributed to a careful balance of soul, disco, jazz, and pop to the delight of millions of fans to this day. They have had 33 top 10 hits and 20 Billboard charted albums over a span of 5 decades. Count them, that's 50 plus years, y'all. The Whispers began their legendary career in 1964 when they first organized at Jordan High School in Watts, California, producing a string of hits continuing over the last 5 decades, such as Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong, And the Beat Goes On, Rock Steady, A Song for Donnie and Lady, and so many other classics. The Whispers emerged as the leading romantic singers of their generation, racking up one gold album after another and charting 46 Billboard hits. They are arguably the most celebrated R&B balladeers of their generation, and I co-sign. They are the first group to be signed to Soul Train Records and earned most of their greatest hits with Solar Records. The Whispers, music has been sampled over 131 times, and their music has been featured in over 600 musical compilations. Their music has been heard on movie soundtracks, such as Waiting to Exhale, Medea's Family Reunion, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. They sang the title track on Jay Leno's movie soundtrack, Collision Course. The group has not made any personal changes since 1973, when the fantastic and incredible Leaveil Degree replaced Gordy Harmon. They still consist of Walter Scott, Wallace Scotty Scott, and Leaveil Degree. The passing of Nicholas Caldwell, much respect. The passing of Nicholas Caldwell in 2016 left them as a trio, but still stellar and powerful on their stage. They are one of the only few old school groups that can boast of having over 50 years in this industry. And I'm going to keep saying 50 years because that is out of sight, and much respect. Over 50 years in the industry with a worldwide fan base, maintaining their vocal dominance and original members. The Whispers have always been at the forefront of promoting and inspiring social change with such hits as Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong, Help Them See the Light, and Olivia. It's no surprise that in 2020, Walter, Scotty, and Leaveil asked the question, how long? In their latest single, How Long? Their 5 decades of accomplishments have been acknowledged by induction into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, presentation of the Governor's Award by the San Francisco chapter of the Grammy Awards at NAACP Image Awards, induction into the Bay Area Blues Society Hall of Fame, Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame. The Black Music Academy of America selected the Whispers to receive their Sammy Davis Jr. Living Legend Award. Right on. My respect is shared by millions of others. Your whisperness has touched us all. When I say your whisperness, I mean your realness, your dedication to being 100% you in artistry, in conversation, in dedication to your family and your friends, your passion for communicating with our young people. We respect you always, just being the down-to-earth soul brothers that you are. And we can always count on that. That deserves respect and is respected and has been respected once again for over 50 years. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a true honor to welcome the mighty, mighty Whispers to the Victor Brooks Show Facebook Live Quarantine Series. Gentlemen, are you here?
I'm here.
Brother Leaveil, how are you, man?
I read instructions good.
Well, I know we see Brother Walter Scott and Scotty Scott's picture here, and I know they're with us, but we've been having some technical back and forth.
Yeah.
But Leaveil, thank you.
Themselves, so they kind of, the technology thing got them kind of beat right now. So they have somebody there helping them. So
well, that's cool. That's cool, brother. Now, where are you, Leaveil? Are you're in LA or Vegas? Where are you?
I moved to Vegas 3 years ago. And
3 years ago.
3 years ago, I moved to Vegas. LA got to be just too much, you know. It's the cost of living is crazy there, you know, and as you get older, you hopefully get smarter. And so, you know, for me and my family, I thought it was better for us to move to Vegas and see what Vegas offered. And we do a lot of work here anyway, so why not, you know? But I'm actually glad I moved here. It's just this doggone heat today, boy.
Man, tell me about it, brother. You know what? And Brother Leaveil, I'm sitting with my wife with no air conditioning. I mean, this is old school LA right here, where they felt like the breeze was just gonna come through and help us out.
Oh no, you guys got a heat wave too.
Oh, there they are. What's happening, Brother Walter and Scott? What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Oh man, just sitting here enjoying this positivity, Brother Leaveil, man. It was just so good. How you doing, brother? It's so good to have all three of you with us today, man. It's an honor, gentlemen. A true honor, man. And we see the people lining up here, and I know when you get a chance, if you can look back after the show, and you can see the comments that are coming through, man. It's all about love. It's all about respect, man, that your people are giving you. And I hope you don't mind me coining the phrase, your whisperness.
I like that. I like that. I heard you earlier. I said, that is really cool.
Right on, right on.
Like that.
Well, you know what? And like I did, every show, I do prepare my notes, you know, for everybody that comes on. But brothers, there's so much when it comes to the Whispers and myself that I can come from the heart about, that I'm using my notes as a reference, of course. And, but when I think of the Whispers, okay, let me take it all the way back for Vic. I'm thinking about the soundtracks of not only my life, but the soundtracks of millions of your fans around the world. It's this, your music is the soundtrack of our lives.
Oh man, that's how we think.
Hey, man, you know, when we think about our life growing up, our marriages, our ups, our downs, our first loves, our first kiss, our first breakup, the Whispers is there to either help us through, to help us understand what was happening, what did we mess up about, what should we have done better? What does that mean to y'all, man? To know that's what you do to us.
Victor, it's a blessing for us, man. But you know what? Let me start off by saying this. When I saw Wendy, your niece, come on the screen, it showed me all about the beauty of music, man. This young lady who comes from the emotions four of the greatest voices that we've ever heard in rhythm and music. And I'm looking at her, and we worked with them last year in Las Vegas. It just shows you how beautiful music is and how it comes full circle. It's just a joy, you know, watching the emotions, their niece and daughter, be on the screen with us.
Come on.
It's just a pleasure, man. I'm telling you.
That's right. That's right, man. You know, it's a, and like we like to say, it's a family affair, you know, and just to keep it real, Wendy, my brother Chris, our sister Julie, we didn't know what to expect. You know we're not CNN, we're not unsung, we're not the big boys, but what we do have that's just as important, I believe, is the message of positivity, man, you know?
Absolutely, man.
You know, what is your positivity, gentlemen? I ask this to everybody that comes on. Leaveil, what's your positivity, brother?
Well, being just turning 72, July 31st.
Much respect, right on.
I take positivity when I wake up every morning, and even with the aches and pains that I have at 72, because I don't care who you are, when you get older, you're going to have them little aches and pains. But even those I embrace, because as long as I am feeling those pains, I'm still here and I can accomplish something new today, you know? So to me, I look at just life as a blessing every day that I open my eyes and I be able to see a sunset or a sunrise. Man, that to me is the greatest thing in the world, because I mean, I've had a lot of brothers that are not here anymore, you know, that left much younger than me. So every day that God gives me another day on this earth with my family, with my grandkids, with my children, man, that you can't get any more positivity in the world than that, period.
Much respect. And I got to tell you, wait till you see the lineup. You just blew, I don't know how many minds when you said 70. How old, brother?
72.
Come on now, right on.
And most people they'd be lying about it going down, but you know, it's like this. You got to embrace who you are, you know. Yes. And to me, I'm not ashamed that I'm 72, you know. And so you have to embrace that. And you know, a lot of people be like, well, no, I'm 62, 52. You know, look, I'm proud of how old I am, and I'm still here, able to do the things that I'm doing, you know.
Right on, man. Right on. Brother Scotty, Brother Walt, what's your positivities, man?
Well, let me start off by saying, man, we're just thankful that the Lord upstairs has enabled us to be around for over 50 years. Yes. When we started out in Watts in the projects of Jordan Downs 50 years ago, we never dreamed that 54 years later, we would still be doing what we love to do. He's just enabled us, man, to go all over the world. And as you say, we've been everywhere: Africa, Europe, Japan, Asia. I mean, you name it. And it's just so great, man, to know that music brings people together, you know. And I think we just some blessed young guys. We had no idea that it would be here this long. So I'm thankful for that, man. Believe me.
Right on, man. Right on. Brother Scotty?
Well, I can echo that, you know, like Leaveil said, we're not ashamed of, you know, Leaveil just turned 72 and me and Walt, we're like 102. We're happy we still here.
Thing like this, 16, so.
Because it don't have to be this good. The man upstairs has allowed us to be here this long. We don't take it for granted. We appreciate it. And I want to throw in a word that my brother said about the emotions. True classics. True classics. Yeah. Wanda, Sheila, my dear. The golden voice of Sheila. I know this is supposed to be, you want to find out what we're talking about. But I could talk about this all day because I love it.
Right on, right on.
Yes, yes.
Oh, come on, brothers. I understand, man. I mean, when you talk about the emotions, you're talking about another addition to the soundtrack of our lives.
One and only, I'm telling you.
Hey, you see what's behind me too, right? So we know what you know. That whole Peace Be Still clip and Watts Stacks. Oh, come on.
Oh, man. What a beautiful history that is, man.
It is, brother, you know. So speaking of that, you know what? Let's take us back. You mentioned growing up in Watts, but before Watts, you were born in I'm talking about Scotty and Walter. Texas was your birthplace, right? And Leaveil, yours is New Orleans, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So coming in, Scotty and Walter, let's start there. Coming into Watts, how old were you when you first moved to LA?
We moved to Los Angeles and we happened to be in the 8th grade.
Okay.
That was in 1959. And we did like most people at that time, in 59, early 60s, Motown was the thing. And everybody wanted to be the next Temptations and the Four Tops, so we were no different. But, you know, so in Los Angeles, you live here, you know what it's like in the summertime. We'd be out in front of our projects singing doo-wop.
Right on.
And we entered a bunch of talent shows, you know, back then, won a lot of them.
Right on.
Yeah. We weren't called the Whispers at that time, but as a matter of fact, Scotty and I entered a talent show as the Scott Twins.
Ah, okay.
The three guys who would later become the Whispers, they entered that same talent show as the Eden Trio. And while we were backstage waiting to go on to do our act, we were doo-wopping as everybody did back then, and we liked the sound that the 5 of us made.
Okay.
So we said, you know what, after this talent show, man, why don't we, you know, get like the Temptations? We're going to be a 5-man group.
Right.
That's how the Whispers was born. That's how the 5 of us came together.
Check that out. Who won the talent show that night?
That night, me and Scotty won it as the Scott Twins. I hate bragging, but we won a lot of them.
Okay. See, say that, you know, that was just one of the ones, you know, y'all went on to do. But if we're looking at, I don't want to go too deep without giving up the much deserved respect to Brother Marcus Hutson and Brother Nick. You know, I mean, when we talk about those two brothers there too, man, I mean, just sitting here with you three icons and legends and pioneers of this industry, when we talk about Brother Nick's choreography and we talk about, you know, his songwriting ability, those additions to helping create that whisperness that we just mentioned there, you know, tell me about that whole thing of the whisper originality, brothers, because when you hear a whisper song, you know that's the Whispers, and it's been that way ever since. My introduction to the Whispers was another cat that's like a big brother to me out of Philly. His name's Steve Patterson, right? And the first Whispers track I remember hearing when I was growing up, man, was "Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong." Wow! Right? And from that time, and I remember he said, "Come here," because you know I was trying to get my little chops together when I was 14 years old, whatever, you know. So he was like, "No, come here. I want you to hear something." And he put it on. He said, "This is singing." Okay, so this is why it's going deep with me, all right? I'm like 14, 15 years old, and I ain't the only one, right? So with that song there, and then that whisper sound, that originality that has never changed in 50 years, you know it's the Whispers. Where did that develop? What is that? Is that too general of an approach, or do you dig what I'm saying, right?
What I'm gonna try to do though, since you brought up the song, Seems Like I Gotta Do, I'm gonna hook it to our very latest because they were really one and the same. This was back in 1965 when the Watts riots were going on.
Yeah.
Back then, it wasn't George Floyd then, it was just black people being mistreated.
Right on.
And that's what that song was all about, just like How Long Today is about, you know, police brutality. Leaving your home you might get back home and you might not because your skin is black.
Yes.
It seems like I got to do wrong. That's what that was all about.
Right.
So it's not the first time we've seen what's going on today, and bringing it up to How Long came about when we saw George Floyd with a knee in his neck. And because we were in the process of coming back with a standard whisper, it had been about 14 years since we new record. So we're excited about coming with a new project, basically a whisper type song. But when we saw George Floyd and what happened to George Floyd, that's when How Long was born, because the brother that wrote that song, his name is Magic Mendez. He's a bass player in our band today.
Okay.
When we heard those lyrics, we said, hey, we got to record this and tell our people, you know, the way to go. That's how long actually came about.
Right.
But,
Lyrics, I'm sorry, go ahead, Leaveil.
well, to go back to kind of, I think your question was how the actual sound came about. I think that's what you were kind of asking about, the sound of the whispers. Where did that originate from? And that originated from, because I actually came into the group and had studied the whispers as well before I actually joined the group, and found out that they were people that love harmonies, and they studied for freshmen, high-lows, those kind of people. That was who they listened to, those harmonies, and they loved the way that those guys would put these harmonies with these minors and majors and all those kind of things. So that, what you hear from the whispers is an R&B version of that kind of flavor of music. You know, they would rehearse the Hertz commercial. You know, that would be some of the stuff that they would do in their free time to cultivate that background and that smooth harmony. So when I joined the group, basically, I studied the whispers in terms of the old songs. You know, seems like I got to do wrong. Those kind of songs. Only meant to wet my feet, because I love pretty.
As I sit here.
As I sit here, yeah. I went way back to listen to that stuff because, I love the falsetto, and Scotty is the one that sung most of the falsetto parts. So I studied his falsetto, even though before him, I was a Delphonics, stylistics, falsetto kind of guy, because I love falsetto. But when I heard Scotty's so smooth, and I said, I gotta study this guy because I want to sound like him. So when the opportunity came, it was easy for me to make the transition. That's why the sound itself never really changed, because I had studied Scotty so much. And a lot of times he would say, dang, young man, you sound like me. I've studied you a lot. That's why I sound like you.
Hey, right on, man. You brought up a good point, man. That falsetto, and we're talking about As I Sit Here, that mixture of that doo-wop drop, that soulful doo-wop in that, man. And I remember my dad, like you just co-signing on that my dad's a big high-lows fan, big fourth freshman fan. And in college, he had a group called the Versatiles, and that was their thing. You know, they would sing that quartet sing. So we grew up with that sound. And then when I heard As I Sit Here, Scotty, I was never able to get that falsetto, brother. I tried. Even to where the other cat in the group was like, man, just let it go. My mom and dad would come and say, son, that ain't quite it. Just keep trying. Keep trying. So I understand, Leaveil. But that dedication to your sound, lyrics, let's go to there. Lyrics mean a lot to the whispers, doesn't it? The lyric of what you're saying.
It means everything. Now, you ask also about the style and what we want to be. When it comes to lyrics, that's when we go back to Nicholas Caldwell.
Yes.
Nicholas Caldwell basically is the core and the very vibe of what we are. Nicholas Caldwell was a guy that wrote Lady, As I Sit Here, Are You Going My Way? Do They Turn You On? Nick was an incredible guy. And when I say that, I want our audience to know that Nick is the guy that designed how we were going to perform. Wow. Nick said to us, this is why I want us to be on stage. What do we stand for? Do we respect women? Do we respect our mothers and fathers? Are we going to sing about what's going on right now? A la, seems like I got to do wrong before they notice me. This Nick's mindset. And I just give him all the credit in the world, because as young men, we knew how important it was to sing about what was going on today. And as Scotty said, here we go 40 years later from Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong to asking the question of how long do we have to continue to put up with this? I love what you said early, man, when you called this virus. You said it was two things. You said it was a virus that kills people, but the other one is the virus of racism. Man, we always knew that. That's why we're asking now, how long do we have to continue to put up with this? It didn't just happen with George Floyd. Been around 54 years. We've seen this way before. And we're asking the question now, How long do we have to do this? And what we're saying is the answer, as corny as you might think it is, it's love.
Come on now. Come on.
And you want to be asked, and you want to be treated, you want to be treated the way you say, I want you to treat me the way I want to be treated. That's about love. So we're asking the question of how can we change the wrong to right?
Come on, man.
That's what this new song is about. And we're very proud of it, man. We hope that it'll catch on.
No, come on. It's catching on, brother. I posted it last night. Of course, I received it. Marquez sent it last week to me. And man, I just started in my own way, just shooting it out in emails and shooting it out and, you know, and getting that out as well. And then when I posted it for the show, and even people who are just hearing what you said now are commenting how much they love the video, they love the song. Somebody saying, we love the words. Somebody else, good message music. See, so it's touching. It's that continuation of the whispers touch to the soul of us listening. Now, when you talk about your lyrics, brother, you know, do you coin the phrase? Is the phrase message music? Is it inspirational music? Is it positive music? Whatever. Do you feel that sometimes that message or that the urgency or the necessity of that message is lost in what is considered R&B or soul music today?
Yeah, I think that when we did Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong, some people are asking, are you saying that we got to go out and tear up something? No, that's not what we were saying. We were saying we have to make some noise for you to notice us. Mm-hmm. Just like How Long is asking the question today of how long do we have to continue to see our people be mistreated? You know, when I tell my white friends, you know, they said when they saw George Floyd, they thought that was just something that they couldn't believe. You know, listen, we've been seeing this all our lives.
Our lives, brothers. You know that's right. That's right.
New
everywhere.
But now, the most positive thing, I'm so glad that we see on the streets. Back in the 60s, it was mostly black people doing the demonstrating. But now, as you can, it's everybody.
Everybody, brother.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Black, brown, yellow, red, everybody.
That's right. All ages. Because I remember with the first time that it really started to break, y'all. I mean, like everybody, we were watching the news and it was our young people out there doing their thing. But it was not, like you just said, it wasn't only the young people. It was across a multicultural movement that I like to say that was happening, because I don't believe that it was just a moment. I believe that these young folk caused a movement. That's not just a moment, but a movement. And then I always love to say to my generation or even older, which, man, even more much respect to, because I always say we got to keep our gate open. We got to let our young people know they can come and rap to us, because I want to learn from y'all just as much as I want you to learn something from me. And I believe that it's important to get that communication, that bridge that gap, especially from our young artists, man. I have a passion for, I always tell our young artists, paint those paintings. I mean, Nikki Giovanni wrote those poems. Gil Scott-Heron wrote those songs. Somebody made a film about it, whatever. What do you feel is the artist's purpose during times like these, gentlemen?
Well, you know what? I always say to the young people, you're so much more blessed than we were, because back in the day, we didn't have a phone. You know what I'm saying? Thank God that the day that happened to George Floyd, we were in a pandemic and everybody in this country got to see. Yeah. And immediately, thank God we had phones, because that young 17-year-old girl that took her phone and made the whole world see what was happening. Man, what a blessing.
Blessing.
And in 1965, when we were riding, wasn't no phones. And not only that, what I love about the young people that they have today that we don't have, they don't just have the phone. They got a thing in there called Google. They can go to it immediately and can't nobody tell them a lie.
You're right on.
It's really happening.
Right on.
What a blessing that is.
Come on now. That's right.
God, what a blessing that is today, man, to have that.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? And were you going to say something about?
No, I was just saying, I mean, I echo what Walter's talking about. I mean, to me, today, it's totally different for the for the youth today. Plus, they don't deal with the same things that we deal with back in the day. You know, I mean, driving while black. You know, and that was a phrase that was coined. You know, and you couldn't have a nice car and be a black guy because you had to be a dope dealer. You know what I'm saying? So, I kind of look at COVID is kind of a blessing in some ways because, and I'll explain it like this: if we wouldn't have been home or you know, off from work, like people have been out of work, they had nothing to do but watch that doggone TV, you know, do something. They couldn't do anything else but watch TV. People, the reaction to what happened to George Floyd wouldn't be as prevalent because we're in and out of the house. We're working 9 to 5. Sometimes even as a husband and wife, we don't even see one another but for 2 or 3 hours. Today, you had to stay home. You got to see that video over and over and over again. And it was so impactful when you watch a man, you know, a grown man begging for his mom. I've never seen that. It gave me chills as a man. You know, it's almost like I was laying there I was laying there with him and somebody had their knee on my neck. When somebody calls for their mom, you know, and know that their life, and then you watch the man die on TV. I think that is why what's happening today with this protest and people are coming together is because they've seen it for the first time. And our generation is different. Kids today, my children, my son is married to an Indian woman. My brother was married to a Japanese woman. They don't care about what color, you know, black, white, green, purple. They don't care. So now they're fighting for it's a different fight. They're fighting for their wives. They're fighting for their husbands. They're fighting for their children because the world is so eclectic now. They don't have that same prejudice. So now you see it in real time where you see black, whites, yellows, browns, like Walter said, everybody's out there protesting. That wasn't back in 66. You see a white person on the street while we was riding then, he would have got hurt, but it's not that way now. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be a great impact. And I feel like there's going to be a change now. We just got one last thing to do.
One last thing to do. And we got to do it. We got
to get that man out off the seat. You know where I'm going.
And we're talking about voting positivity. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, we got to do it.
That's what I wanted. They just took my thunder because it's 3 things that I'm thankful for today. One is the cell phone.
Yes.
Showing your ass what's up.
That's right. That's right.
You can't hide no more. 2 is that music, like you said earlier, Victor, has kept us going. So thank God for music. Thank God for cell phones. And brothers and sisters, if you ever wanted to vote, this is the time to. You got to get this fool out of office.
That's right.
Like your life depends on it because your life actually does depend on it. You got a maniac to deal with. Go to the polls. Don't let the rain stop you. Don't let the excuses that normally stop you. Not this time. Too valuable.
That's right.
Right here in Vegas right now.
Yeah.
We just heard from our mayor. He says he don't give it. Trump is telling him Trump is pissed off with him. He's been talking about him all day today. Yeah. And he said, I don't care about Trump. I'm not going to subject my citizens to COVID. So they are going to get their mail-out ballots. We sending them out now. And so he is really, really livid about that right now. And, but like Scotty said, do not let that even stop you. Put that mask on, go out there because they're already attacking the Latino community.
There you go.
And now they're trying to keep us out of the suburbs,
I got you. Let me say, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. We're going to be next. We're going to be next.
Before we get out of here, Victor, let me say this to you, my brother. We cannot
go for it.
Enough for giving us this platform. We don't take this for granted, man.
No, I got you.
In regards, because your family, you come from one of the greatest musical families in this country.
Yes,
Gotcha.
you did.
No, you're giving us this platform to speak about our new song, How Long.
Oh,
So thank you, my brother. Don't think we take it for granted. We appreciate
oh,
it.
you know what, man? You know what, brothers? Hey, I don't. It's a blessing, and I use that because that's where my strength comes from. You dig? I consider it a blessing. I believe in prayer. I believe in positive message. I believe that you know, it's always something to count a blessing about, man. And everything like you all just mentioned now, I have to ask too, gentlemen, because they're blowing me up. And if you don't mind, they want to take back to the Solar Records introduction day. Okay, the meeting of Dick Griffey, the at that time being one of the premier promoters, black promoters at the level this brother was at. Okay, and that whole experience. First, tell me how you met Dick Griffey. What was that introduction, man?
The introduction to Dick Griffey came through me. I happened to be at a Curtis Mayfield concert
Okay,
club in Los Angeles. And after the concert was over, this huge guy walked up to me who I thought was a professional football player.
okay,
And he entered because if you've seen Dick Griffey, he looked like an athlete. He was a big guy.
gotcha.
He said, "My name is Dick Griffey, and I want you to know one thing. If you give me the opportunity to manage your group," he said, "I've seen your group."
Yeah.
He said, "There's one group that I think that you're on par with and that you can be better than, and that's Gladys Knight and the Pips." He said,
Right.
"I've seen you guys." And you know what? I've heard that before. And so I kind of laughed. I took his card, I went back and told the guys I met this guy who wanted to meet with us.
Yeah.
Dick was very persistent. And about 2 months later, we met in my cousin's garage.
Okay.
Dick became our manager from that point on.
And that's where it started, right there.
Started. Yeah.
And then so now educate us on when the signing to Soul Train Records. All right. Now the Whispers was the first to sign on that label, correct? And that was a label that was created by. Give me the history of the Solar Records signing.
Right now, your family
coming together.
Right, your family will know all about this. Don Cornelius had a local show in Chicago called
There
Soul.
you go. That's right.
And this was before he came to Los Angeles. The Whispers and Dick Griffey came through Chicago playing a club where we first saw Donny Hathaway, and we played Don Cornelius' TV show, Soul Train.
Gotcha.
So the two of them met, and they decided to form a Soul Train Records, both believing, Dick said, "I'm the biggest black promoter, you're the biggest television promoter, let's put this together." And I say this all the time, had these two men stuck together,
Man, come on, man.
Victor, you know what it would have been like. They,
Come on, man.
you know, kind of separated a couple of years later, and Soul Train Records became Solar Records. And of course, we had signed to Solar, and when they broke up, we had signed to Soul Train, and when they broke up, we automatically went to Solar Records, and that's when this small label of Solar Records was actually started. And it started right here in Los Angeles, called The Sound of LA, with Dick Griffey as the president and owner of Solar Records, and that's how it came about.
Oh man, y'all heard it, y'all. That's direct, live and direct. Because the history of Solar Records, man, is just incredible. Of the hits that came from, like some of us back east used to say, from the left coast. I mean, you know, California and the sound, like there was such the perfect name, Sound of Los Angeles Records. It had its own sound.
Yeah.
Its own groove, you know, and the way that the Whispers, y'all, one of your main jewels that I'm going to say that all of us loved is the way that you were able, going back to your lyrics, the way that you were able to make the act of lovemaking, romance, your own artistic expression. You made it romantic. You did. You said what you needed to say. And the ladies loved hearing what you needed to say. And the brothers thanked you for saying what you needed to say. But that whole thing, let me read something here. All right. I'm gonna say, here we go. Come here, let's talk, dear. There are things inside me I want you to hear. I want to soak into you like rain. Make love until my energy drains. And as just erases all, as lust erases all shame, you'll scream my name out of pleasure, not pain, if you just say yes.
That's Nicholas.
That's all you gotta do. You just gotta say yes. Well, now what does that mean? That means also you showing some respect at the same time. Because all you need to do is say yes. No, tell me that. How were you able to keep that romantic string that you guys push? How were you able to do that?
You know what you just did, Victor, in a small 10 seconds?
Yes.
Vitified Nicholas Caldwell. That's the way he wrote. That's the way he wanted us to be perceived. He wanted it to be known that we thought of our ladies as a beautiful flower.
Come on, brothers.
So when he said, yes, are you going my way? That's what he was talking about.
Yes.
And I'm just saying, man, we cannot be blessed enough. When I say that Nick was the core of what we stood about, and today that we stand for, that's Nicholas Caldwell.
And we were very fortunate that we were able to have the chops. Nick wrote for me. I mean, Leaveil, you and Leaveil were kind of joking earlier about the falsetto situations. And Leaveil is being a little modest. The truth of the matter is, before he came along, I was like singing the top, and I was like the Corvette. He came along with the Ferrari, right over the Corvette in terms of, that's what really, really took place. But that's because that's what Nick heard. You know, Leaveil didn't tell you this, but Leaveil sung backstage with that pretty falsetto for a solid year before he ever even came on.
Hey, fill us in on that. Tell me, please fill us in, y'all. My positivity posse's waiting on that.
Yeah, that was something else because, you know, as you see, Nicholas tackled everything with a vengeance. There was nothing in his mind that he could not do. You can't even tell him, no, Nick, you can't do this. No, I'm going to be able to do that. Everything he did, he attacked it with every fiber of his being. So when he did writing his songs, it was always about respect for the ladies. He wanted always about getting permission, like you said, you know. And then when it came down to choreography,
yes,
he was like that with that as well. And so I could always sing, I could do that, but Nicholas routines were something that would look like a jigsaw puzzle to me. I mean, I you know, it took me a solid year of singing backstage and rehearsing with him at night after we performed or before we even performed, before we even went to the gig. I would rehearse with him day and night, trying to learn his routines because Nicholas was, he didn't want to do anything the same as everybody else. He wanted the Whispers to have their own signature. And even in the choreography, if you watched this on stage when it was 5 of us, you know, and I'm not ego tripping or nothing like that.
No, man, that's it.
Anybody could mess with us on the planet in terms of us doing our choreography. If I've had Eddie OJ come to me one day and he says, man, he says, I stand on side of stage and watch your routines every night. Yeah. He says, where you guys are on the beat, off the beat, in between the beat.
Exactly.
He said, I've never seen anything like that. How do you, I said, I don't even know, it's reaction. You have to react to it. If you think about it, you're already too late.
Come on, hey, Brother Leaveil, you hit it right on the head because the choreography in that live stage seems like I gotta do wrong. It's almost like it's like a glide. Are you moving? Are you not moving? We see the hands, and I wish I could have seen it. That's memorable. It's what you just said, man. And I mean, that's the Whispers. It wasn't like, you know, a lot of the beautiful, you know, thing that a lot of the other groups were the outstanding, you know, but it had its beauty. It's whisperness. Now go back to that.
But you know who his love was.
Beautiful whisperness, man.
His Fred Astaire was his love, and he loved it.
So, okay.
See, that's kind of like where he was. He's Fred Astaire. What's the other brothers?
Nicholas Brothers.
Nicholas Brothers.
Right.
That's what Nick studied. That's who he studied. And so when you see that, you kind of see that element in his choreography. You know.
You know what? Melba Moore just sent her love. She said, please, hey, you know.
Oh, girl, yes, she's beautiful. She's beautiful.
You know what, gentlemen, what you just said, and I'm not going to hold you too much longer. I know that I just can't, I have to go back to how long. Because number one, like you said, the state of affairs that we talked about, the two viruses, things that are going on, things that are being repeated when I talk about the corona as well as the virus of racism.
Absolutely.
And your music of how long. And then you gave us the backstory that it was like, wait a minute, we're going to pause what we were originally getting ready to do at this time, because this song, How Long, has to be done right now. I'm sorry, go right ahead.
It had to be done. This was recorded back in April. Leaveil was, he lives in Las Vegas. And I made the mistake of calling Leaveil and said, look, man, you got to get on the plane and come down. We got to finish this song.
Yeah.
I'm not getting on no plane. I can tell you that. Down.
No, not at that time.
Victor, you live here. We live out in the valley. So we recorded this record at Scotty's garage with our mask on. We, now ask your family, the emotions. They know how we record. Each person goes in and does their part. I had my mask on. When it was time for me to sing, I went out in the garage, took the mask off, sang my part. When Leaveil had his mask on, when I finished, he went out, took his mask off, sang his part. Scotty did his lead, took his mask off. We had to get this song out because we felt like we had to express the way we felt about what's going on at this present time.
You know what's so incredible about that is that even, I've been in the group 47 years. The group has been together 54 years. We even with ourselves maintain social distancing because it's so important, And I'm glad Walter said that, because people think, well, I'm violating their rights by wearing a mask and all that kind of stuff. With us, we are brothers, but we said we have to protect protect one another from one another. Not that I'm running out in the street every day, not that they're doing the same thing, but because of respect for one another, we wore masks the whole time we were doing that. Even when we were sitting in the house, and I'm sitting over on one side of the house, another person sitting on the other side of the house, and then, like Walter said, we walk out to his garage and do our part and pass one another as we're doing that, trying to maintain that social distancing.
You know what, Brother Leaveil, that's an important part. I'm so glad you brought that up, brother, because it seems us as your fans, there seems to be a brotherhood with the emotions. I'm sorry, not the, there seems to be a brotherhood with the whispers that even the emotions talked about as blood sisters. Okay, but when you talk about us looking in on the whispers, there seems to be a brotherhood that has always been there, man. Are we feeling that?
Oh, it's true. We met at 15 years old. We were all in junior high school here in Los Angeles when we met. And we all were raised by single moms, all of us. And from the very beginning, hey, man, people ask us how we be here this long. I always say it's upbringing. We came up. Thank God, none of us, no smoking, no drinking, no drugs. That has helped us sing in the same key today that we sung in 54 years today.
Come on,
man. The good Lord has truly blessed us.
Come on, man. And it's evident in the new single, y'all, How Long. How Long is powerful. How Long is much needed. And I'm talking about Positivity Posse right now around the world. I see Germany's lined up. I see France is lined up. Of course, our people in Brazil that's going through an interpreter right now. Our people here in the US right now. Positivity Posse, I'm calling. I'm a Positivity Posse. How long is needed right now? What's going on with Marvin Gaye was needed at that moment and still today. Gil Scott Heron told us that it wasn't going to be televised, but we needed it then, and it's still prevalent today. Okay, when Sister Nina Simone said Mississippi, goddamn, it was needed then and still relevant today. So when I tell y'all, when you download How Long, you're going to feel the same energy that's going to stick to the soul now and will be needed now and forever. Because Positivity Posse, that's what we hear about, y'all. And you can feel my passion. You know, I get passionate about our people. I get passionate about our society. I definitely get passionate about our young people and definitely our young artists around the world. Whisper.
We don't want you to take our word for it. There's a line in the song that says, how long will it take?
Yes.
How long will it take to change the wrong to right? That's the most powerful lyric in the song, because we've been going through this forever and ever. It's time for a change. It opens up saying, as a matter of fact, Victor, you just gave us the greatest compliment that we could ever have when you said, this is today's what's going on. We felt that when we first heard the record, when Magic presented it to us, I told him, this is what's going on today. And the simple answer is, like Walt said, some people think it's a little corny. The answer is love. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and you'll find that we can do a whole lot.
Come on, y'all. The golden rule is real. The golden rule is real. That's what my grandmama used to say. The golden rule is real. Gentlemen, thank you for your time today.
Well, thank you.
For having us. Appreciate it. We can't tell you how much it means to us, man.
Really.
Oh man, it's vice versa. And
your energy is infectious, brother. Definitely.
Yeah.
Genuine. You come off like this is a passion for you, and you can see it. You can see it all through you. Definitely.
It means a lot, brother.
Tell them golden throats is what I call them.
Say that again.
I say, be sure and say to those golden throats, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Emotion, I call them the golden throats of life. They the baddest that ever did.
Yes, they are. I love my love and pride for them sisters, man. Wanda, Jeanette, Pam, Sheila. Come on, man.
One of a kind.
That's for sure.
That's right. That's right. Well, gentlemen, I hope and pray that when you have time, it would be an honor for you to come back at another time, some other time, and we rap some more, y'all. We share this positive love.
Thank you so much, Vic. Thank you, my brother.
God bless you, brother.
Much
Thank
love.
you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
You got it, y'all. Much love. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, man, I'm my heart is full. You know, my heart is full because as we all know, when you talk about the Whispers, you're talking about gentlemen who have just held that flag of realness over time, over 50 plus years. It's in their music, it's in their vocal delivery, you know, it's in their one-on-one when they give their, as you notice today, their interviews, their talks, their mission through music, you know. It's they were so eloquent in the way that they were able to characterize what's going on right now in the world, the negativity, the heaviness, but then showing the positiveness through their new single, How Long, where you can download everywhere. Just go pick that up. Do yourself that favor and plug that positivity in, y'all. Plug that positivity in of that new single, How Long. It won't let you down. But we were just given that evidence today. And it's just my extreme honor. And what I'd like to do, I'd like to play that for you. Wendy, if you don't mind playing that incredible video of How Long to our Positivity Posse, I sure would appreciate it, girl. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to attempt to give it to you right now. How Long.
Grandpa, what's happening?
What's happening, Neil, is what's been happening for years and years and years.
It's time for change.
How long will we argue? How long will we fight?
goodness. Oh my goodness. I agree. I agree. Everybody that's lining up and throwing, this is what we need today. You're throwing your fist signs, you're throwing your peace signs. This is what it's all about. How long, y'all? This is the single. This is the message. And once again, I thank you so much, y'all, my Positivity Posse, for taking your time again on this Sunday, 1 o'clock Pacific Coast time, and joining us in just our attempt to spread this positivity, you know, especially during this time. And ending this episode of these icons of music and artistry, the Whispers, the mighty Whispers. We just heard their journey. We just heard their heartfelt for change, for justice, for what it is we need today. And then the video right behind it, y'all. That's what it's all about. Oh my goodness, how long? Love is the answer. Y'all, you know what I say? Come on back next weekend, y'all, and get some of this positivity on you. Take a shower in it, take a bath in it, scuba dive in it, or what, if you want to just skinny dip in it, just get in that pool of positivity, y'all. Drench yourself in it, and when you come up, sprinkle it on everybody you can, because that's what we need right here and right now. Much love and much respect, Whispers. Much love and much respect, Positivity Posse. We'll see you next time on the Victor Brooks Show.